What if I told you that everything you own, everything you earn, every drop of sweat you trade for money, is already stolen before you even touch it? That your 9 to 5 is not just work but quiet exploitation? This isn't a conspiracy theory. This is the world according to Karl Marx. And today, we break the chains of illusion to uncover why this revolutionary thinker believed capitalism wasn't just flawed. It was built to consume your very soul. Before the symbol, there was the man. Karl Marx, born in 1818 in Trier, Germany, was no ordinary philosopher. He was part economist, part revolutionary, and wholly dangerous to the powers of his time. Exiled, hunted, banned across Europe, Marx wasn't admired by kings or corporate empires. But he was feared because he asked one question that unraveled everything: who really profits from your labor? Alongside Friedrich Engels, Marx created the Communist Manifesto and Das Kapital, texts that became the blueprint for revolutions, uprisings, and ideologies that would alter the face of Earth. But beneath the radical politics lies a deeper question, one that you and I must ask. What is the true cost of capitalism? To understand Marx's opposition to capitalism, we must begin where all value begins: labor. According to Marx, labor is not just effort, it is labor power, your capacity to work. Under capitalism, this labor power becomes something terrifying, a commodity. You are no longer simply a person who works. You become a thing to be bought and sold. Your time, your energy, your body, packaged into hours and paid for with wages. But here's the trick: your wage is not equal to the value you produce. Let's say you work 8 hours a day. Maybe you make shoes, or code software, or carry bricks. The value of what you produce, what the company can sell, is far more than the wage you're paid. That difference? That's surplus value. That's what Marx calls the secret of capitalist profit. It doesn't come from machines. It doesn't come from luck. It comes from you, from labor. The capitalist pays you just enough to survive, but keeps the difference as profit. In other words, you create wealth, but someone else collects it. Now you might ask, but wait, don't I choose to work? Isn't that freedom? Marx would say, not really. Under capitalism, you are free in name only. You're free in the same way a person on a sinking ship is free to choose between drowning or clinging to floating debris. You don't own land. You don't own factories. You don't own machines. What do you own? Your labor power. And to survive, you must sell it day after day, year after year. You are free to choose which master you serve. But serve you must. This, Marx argues, is wage slavery, a subtler, quieter form of domination than chains or whips, but no less real. It is a system in which the workers, the proletariat, have no choice but to sell their labor to those who own the means of production, the bourgeoisie. And with every transaction, the owners grow richer while the workers grow more dependent, more alienated, and more exhausted. But Marx didn't stop at economics. He saw something deeper, something emotional, spiritual even. He called it alienation. In capitalism, you are alienated in 4 ways. From the product, you don't own what you make. Whether you bake bread or build software, the final product is not yours. From the process, you don't control how or why you work. You are a cog in a machine, not its master. From others, you are in competition with your fellow workers. Community becomes rivalry. From yourself, you cannot express your true nature, your creativity, your humanity. You become a means to someone else's end. In short, capitalism doesn't just take your time. It takes your connection to your labor, your brothers and sisters, your soul. So now we return to the question, why did Marx oppose capitalism? Because it inverts the truth. It puts capital above humans, profit above people, wealth above well-being, ownership above justice. Marx believed capitalism was not just an economic system. It was a system of extraction, exploitation, and ultimately dehumanization. He saw its future too, endless crises, periodic collapses, the rich growing richer, the poor growing poorer until the working class would rise up and reclaim the world they had built. To Marx, revolution was not a choice, it was an inevitability. The system is not broken, he said. It is built this way. Let's slow down. You watching this? You've worked. You've felt exhaustion. You've wondered where your time goes. You've stared at the clock, knowing you're giving more than you're getting. Marx's voice whispers across time. That discomfort you feel, that invisible weight, it's not your imagination. He wanted a world where labor was not slavery, but creation. Where you didn't work to survive, but to express your humanity. Where we produced not for profit, but for people. You see, Marx didn't just oppose capitalism, he dreamed of freedom. Not the kind printed on paper, but the kind etched in dignity. So, is capitalism evil? Is Marxism the answer? Those are questions you must explore. But one thing is clear. Karl Marx looked at the gears of the machine and refused to pretend it was moral. He showed us the cost of every dollar, the blood beneath the gold, the silence behind the applause. He challenged us not just to live, but to awaken. This has been Chronicles of Legends. Like, share, reflect, and remember, the chains we cannot see are often the ones we carry the longest.